The frosting slid down my cheek like melted wax. Strawberry, cream, humiliation, smearing across my skin while the room roared with laughter. My mother's laugh was sharpest, my father's weakest, and my sister, the golden child, smiled like a queen accepting tribute. All because I said no. No, I will not sign over the apartment I worked 15-hour days to buy. No, I will not hand $300,000 to the sister who never worked a day in her life. For that, I was branded selfish, a greedy egoist. And then the cake flew. I wiped my face slowly. My heartbeat was steady. My lips curled into something none of them recognized, because I had been waiting for this moment. It hadn't started with the cake. It started years earlier when I noticed the shift. My sister always wanted more. The bigger room, the newer car, the larger slice. But when I began to succeed on my own, when I bought the apartment with no one's help but my own, suddenly her wants turned into entitlements. And my parents fed her hunger. Every dinner became a chorus of, "Why can't you share? She's your sister. Don't be cruel." But I watched her smirk across the table each time they scolded me. That's when I understood. This wasn't about family. It was about ownership. They thought they owned me, my effort, my money, my life. And the cake on my face was their final mistake. I didn't shout that night. I didn't storm out. I smiled. Even as the frosting dripped onto my clothes, I smiled. Because while they laughed, I had already been planning. I had already transferred the deed into a trust, under my name only, untouchable. I had already updated my will, leaving not a single cent to the people in that room. And most importantly, I had already set the trap. The trap was simple. Let them think they'd won. A week later, I called my parents and told them I was considering signing the apartment over to my sister, on one condition. We'd all meet at a lawyer's office to make it official. They agreed instantly. My sister even cried on the phone, crocodile tears of gratitude. The day of the meeting, they arrived smug, dressed in their best clothes, already celebrating victory. But when the lawyer slid the papers across the table, their smiles froze. Because the documents weren't a transfer of ownership. They were eviction notices. I had allowed my parents to live in my apartment for years without charging them a dime. I had tolerated their disrespect under my own roof. But the cake changed everything. The lawyer read aloud the clause. They had 30 days to vacate or face legal action. My father's face drained of color. My mother sputtered, "You can't do this." I leaned forward, calm and cold. I already have. My sister screamed, cursed, threw insults across the desk, but I just watched her unravel. She thought she was walking into an inheritance. She walked into exile. The fallout was fast and brutal. With no apartment, my parents scrambled to find a place. My sister begged her boyfriends for money, but pity has an expiration date. Within weeks, the queen with the smug smile was sleeping on a friend's couch, whining about injustice to anyone who'd listen. But no one listens forever. Meanwhile, I changed the locks, repainted the walls, and stood barefoot in my living room, breathing in silence. The apartment felt heavier now, not with their presence, but with my freedom. They still call me selfish. They tell anyone who listened that I abandoned family. Maybe they're right. But family doesn't laugh when you're humiliated. Family doesn't demand what you bled to earn. Family doesn't throw cake in your face and call it justice. So I became what they accused me of. Greedy, egoist, unapologetic. Because in the end, it wasn't just about the apartment. It was about showing them I will never be owned. When I wiped the frosting off my face that night, I didn't just clean my skin. I wiped away the last trace of loyalty I had to people who never deserved it. And in that moment, something in me hardened. Not cruel, not bitter, just untouchable. So let them spit my name with venom. Let them choke on their resentment. I'll be here, in the home they tried to steal, drinking wine by the window, smiling at the city lights, while they live with the taste of their own downfall.